Planets form the backbone of your economy in Stellaris. When I say planets, I also mean any artificial structures you can colonize, such as ringworlds and habitats, as they function in largely the same way. Individuals, be it organic people, sentient rocks, machines, or mindless extensions of a hive mind, are called pops. A single pop doesn't represent a particular number of individuals, perhaps it is 1 to 1 or 1 to a million, depending on the scale and quantity of a species, but it is instead a representation of how much work that population is capable of doing. Each pop requires housing, amenities, and an upkeep. In return, they can work a job. You primarily gain housing via districts. Industrial, generator, mining, and agriculture districts provide a job for each pop it houses, while city districts provide a bunch of housing with no real focus. Each planet, determined by its planet size, has a maximum number of districts that can be built. Generator, mining, and agriculture districts are also limited by planetary features, whereas industrial and city districts are unrestricted. For example, a size 23 planet could have 23 city districts, but might only be able to have 3 generator districts. Planetary features, accessed by the Features button, modify the planet in various ways, primarily by adding generator, mining, and agriculture districts, but can also provide access to strategic resources or special jobs. Planetary blockers are obstacles to exploiting a region of land, whether it be natural predators or mountain, and can be cleared for a cost of energy with the right technology. Planetary blockers can be cleared mid-colonization, which I generally recommend as nothing else productive can be done during this phase. Buildings are more specialized than districts and can provide more advanced jobs or modifiers to the planet. Every planet has the Planetary Capital building in the first slot, which can be upgraded with technology after crossing a specified threshold of pops living on the planet. Upgrading the Planetary Capital and building city districts increases the available building slots. You can spend minerals to build buildings or districts on planets. Each pop has a % habitability for every individual planet, which represents how well their biology is adapted to that planet's climate. 100% gives no debuffs, but every % lower than 100 increases the penalty for living on that planet. Habitability is determined by habitability preference of a species, their traits, technologies, and planetary modifiers. You can click the terraform button when the right technology is researched to change a planet's class to something more preferable. Planetary modifiers affect the planet in various ways, such as increasing building cost or lowering habitability, indicated by circular icons over the image of the planet. They also show the effects of active decisions on the planet. Decisions typically cost unity and can have various effects on a planet, such as improving the effectiveness of enforcers or declaring martial law. These can be essential to keep a planet's crime and stability in check. Every pop on a planet increases crime, but is reduced by enforcers and governors. High crime reduces stability, and can create planetary modifiers that damage a planet's economy. Stability is the political stability of a planet. Planets with the stability higher than 50% get a buff, and inversely, planets with the stability lower than 50% get a debuff. If stability is too low for too long, it can result in a revolt, and if successful, the planet will gain independence. Though there are so many options for improving stability that it typically requires an intentional effort to get planets to rebel. The Population tab gives you an overview of your pops and the jobs they are working. In normal empires, jobs are categorized as rulers, specialists, and workers. Pops will always fill higher tier jobs first if they are capable of doing that tier of job, but take a long time to drop to lower tiers. You can prioritize one job type per tier by clicking on the job icon, or by opening the drop-down menu, you can decrease or increase a job's priority manually with the plus and minus button. Each pop has a single ethic and can create and join factions. A faction that has its political agendas met improves those pops' happiness, while factions that don't agree with the Empire's government will decrease pop happiness. Happiness is also affected by having a deficit or abundance of amenities, and by a species' rights, changed by the Set Rights button in the Species tab. There are 3 slots to the side related to change in population. Growing is for organic pops naturally reproducing, assembling is for clones or robots, and declining is for pops being purged or displaced. Every month, progress towards growth or decline is added, and when the progress completes, a new pop is made or removed. For every pop that exists within an empire, the total progress required to grow or assemble new pops is increased. How much each pop increases it can be configured with the growth required scaling option when creating a new game. You can also resettle pops with the Resettle button. I will cover the Armies tab when I plan to discuss war, and the Corporate tab is only important to mega corporations, which I may cover at a later time. Every planet has a designation. Your first is always the Empire Capital, but it can be relocated with the Move Capital button for a cost of influence. Planet designations give a buff, in the case of Forge World and Factory World designations. It will change whether industrial districts on the planet will only give metallurgist jobs or artisan jobs. The Industrial World designation will make industrial districts give one of each job like normal. You may also improve the bonus of a planetary designation using Unity with Ascension tiers. However, you must have 3 Ascension perks unlocked first. Planets that only produce one thing are more efficient than planets that produce a little of everything. In the early game, you don't have enough planets to specialize planets, but I recommend trying to decide what you plan a planet to specialize in, and when the time comes, replace districts and buildings accordingly. All planets within 4 hyperlanes of your capital are in your core sector, and additional sectors can be created with the Create New Sector button. Each sector can be assigned a governor, which provides various benefits to the planets they supervise depending on their traits and skill. If you are overwhelmed by having too many planets, you can automate planets, either on an individual level or by sector. Automated planets draw from the local stockpile first, then the shared stockpile in order to construct new buildings. Even when a sector or planet is automatic, you can still manually construct as normal without disabling automation. I don't use automation anymore because I like the control of micromanaging all of my planets, but it was useful when I first started playing. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more Stellaris guides like this, the link to the playlist is in the description.